Season 9 of Lucerne Scrolls has landed in Kingdom 2, so we'll go over all of the rewards, and we've got news about the Mightiest Governor, news from official sources, so stick around in this video because there is a lot to talk about. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, a sponsored content creator for Rise of Kingdoms, and to our surprise and delight, when we checked out Kingdom 2, the Lucerne Scrolls is here. This is not in my main kingdom, which is 75, so I can only assume that within the next 24 to 48 hours, Lucerne Scrolls Volume 9 is going to be rolled out to all kingdoms. Now, if we get a look at what's here, they did promise that this will be a shorter event, and it is. It's down to a 36-day time frame. There are 5 weeks of challenges to go and complete. Here are the challenges in the very first week. It does look like a lot of this is oriented towards opening up gold chests. However, if we look at the rewards, this is, I'm sure, what you are most interested in. We see that at the higher tier of this event, there's a 500 gem token, gold keys, some VIP, El Cid emojis, which, like, okay, sure, El Cid, I see you. A teleport, 3 more gold keys, 2,000 more gems, so that's 2,500 total. More El Cid emojis. This is El Cid's cheer. That's an interesting cheer face. Some action point potions, some speed ups, 5 more gold keys. Here is 5 gold heads. Now that's a premium reward. Continuing on, we've also got El Cid's sigh. That's quite the sigh he has there. Looking forward, 10 more gold keys. Okay. A lot of gold keys in here if that's the thing you need. 5 stars. There is the avatar frame, which we peeked at earlier in a previous video. And 8 crystal keys. The premium reward, however, Ash of the Dawn, as well as the 250% expansions. So if you really wanted the cavalry health legs, which are really good, I mean, we proved over 9 months ago that health is the best stat for almost every commander. Whatever stat is the lowest is the most important to go and boost if what you want is efficient trades. I'll have a card up in the top for when we did that. I personally use this piece of equipment on my cavalry, and I do like it. That said, is this worth the money, and how much do you need to spend to actually unlock to this tier? Oh, and P.S., here's the season challenges. I showed you the weekly challenges before. Logging in for 30 days, training 270,000 units, farming 154 million resources on the map, 510 daily quests, 954 barbarians, and 230 barbarian forts. If we look at these bundles for the event, I do think that for $5, getting 5 gold heads is pretty decent, as well as all the other rewards. That honestly might be the best $5 you could spend in Rise of Kingdoms. The only downside I'll offer to you there is that this does not combine in any way with a recharge rewards event, which is definitely a bummer. Those recharge rewards are amazing on top of what you're already getting. So for $5, I think this is a fine way to get a small amount of acceleration, and maybe you could make it all the way to the top. I don't know for the legendary cavalry legs. Instead of being split across several days, you either get there or you don't. I think that for $20, it would only be worth purchasing the Archaeologist if you were really interested in those legendary cavalry legs. If you aren't going to craft those, I don't see a reason to spend the $20. That's the premium thing that this contains. You'd be better off probably just doing, if you're going to spend it all, the $5 and getting your way to level 30. Along the way, you'll get, I believe it's the 2,500 gems, a few emojis, and a few keys, and 5 gold heads. That seems extremely achievable. Overall, I'm a huge fan of a faster cycle for Lucerne Scrolls because that means we can get to whatever the end reward is sooner. I didn't particularly need another city skin, but for the folks who need that, hopefully they'll cycle a few of those back in, maybe every other Lucerne Scrolls, so that people can get access to some of those skins, which are quite nice. However, I will say overall that equipment is probably the stronger of the pickups between city skins and equipment, because the city skins you could always get from holiday events. And as long as there's not as much downtime as there was between seasons of Lucerne Scrolls like we saw now, they will be accelerating the rate at which we get some of these patterns, which I think is generally a nice thing. But let's talk about something way more contentious, the Mightiest Governor. We did 2 videos, technically sort of 3, in the last week, talking about this new format for the Mightiest Governor. But you know what we didn't talk much about? We didn't really talk about how kingdoms before KVK Season 3 are impacted by the Mightiest Governor changes, because guess what? They are. Here is a mail sent to me by Bentley from Kingdom 2089. Really appreciate your sending this to me. This is an official in-game mail that was received in Kingdom 2089. Commanders in the Mightiest Governor, starting from and including Charles Martel, will go from changing every 4 seasons to every 3. The Wheel of Fortune event, starting with and including Khan, will no longer include universal legendary commander sculptures and will only include specific legendary commander sculptures and other event rewards. After these adjustments, governors can make use of such events to recruit powerful commanders faster, giving them many more commander lineups to try. These adjustments will go live within 1 week after the update. After these adjustments go live, your kingdom's Mightiest Governor Season 13 for this kingdom event will be Saladin for the last time, and the commander for Season 14 will be Constantine. We ask that all governors spread the word and prepare their resources for these upcoming changes. So this is kind of a big deal. If we put up onto the screen my old infographic, courtesy of Stormy, we can see that starting with Charles Martel is what this note said. Starting with Charles Martel and forward, it's going to be 3 cycles of a commander. So that would mean that you would get Charles Martel 3 times, El Cid 3 times, Saladin and Khan 3 times, then Constantine and Alex 3 times, and then you'd have Tamaris and Edward 3 times, then Attila Takeda, and presumably all of that timing lines up nicely with when you get dumped into the main flow for the Season of Conquest Mightiest Governor cycle, where everybody is getting the same thing. I think it generally makes sense that they're accelerating players' access to these commanders, even though it does kind of suck that, like, gosh, that 4th cycle of a Mightiest Governor is where the players who generally spend the least have the most opportunity to go and pick up a commander, because the people who spend the most get them in the 1st and the 2nd and the 3rd. But I understand why they're trying to accelerate things, because the problem is that people migrate back to young kingdoms with really amazing commanders. So the sooner that these kingdoms and the native inhabitants of those kingdoms can get access to the higher power commanders, the better, I think, to sort of level the playing field with how migration works. Amazing how so much of this game is now changing to match the way migration had been done. But I think that this makes sense, that they're going to accelerate stuff. And if you were wondering what happens after the Season of Conquest, because all of us are kind of scratching our head going, how is this going to work? We just got Chandragupta, Saladin, Attila, commanders that do not, in our estimation, majorly influence the rally meta and the garrison meta. And we're wondering, okay, what's next? Here is what a customer support advocate was saying, and this was sent to me by another player. I don't know how true this is or isn't, or if it's doctored, so take that for what you will, but here is what they said. Not every period is the same type of commander. So what they're basically saying is, you got all cavalry commanders this time. I did the math on that, by the way. It's a like 1 in 200 chance that you would randomly get all 3 cavalry commanders. So I don't think that was random. But they're saying not every period is the same type of commander, so moving forward, perhaps there will be more randomness. The commander will be changed every period, and each commander has the chance to choose. So I think they're saying that it's random. At the same time, Mightiest Governor has not always only given 3 commanders to choose. There are 4 or 5. So there may be 4 or 5. So you could have more than 3 commanders as the options, potentially, if this is right. And that would presumably be for the Wheel of Fortune 2. This is the commander selected by the player, but which commander can be selected depends on the display on the event page. So I think they're just saying that players choose from the options available in the event screen. The new event online will be the new commander and will not be repeated in a short time. At the same time, once a certain commander is selected, the Mightiest Governor commander for that time cannot be changed. So I think what they're saying here is once you pick a commander for a Mightiest Governor event, you're stuck with that commander for that Mightiest Governor event. And they're saying that once a commander has been in the Mightiest Governor, I guess it can't show up until a bunch of other commanders have been chosen first, right? That line, the new event online will be the new commander and will not be repeated in a short time. For some number of Mightiest Governors, you're not going to see the same Chandragupta, Saladin, and Attila, which has pros and cons. The upside of that is that you get access to lots of different commanders. The downside is that a lot of people like to spin the wheel 4 times, then max a commander, and those days are long gone, it seems. Now, in fairness, they are talking about the Mightiest Governor here, so maybe the Wheel of Fortune is fully unhinged from the Mightiest Governor commander pairings. Maybe if Attila's on one end, that it's not Takeda on the other for the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. We'll be streaming later today, most likely, showcasing Stage 1 of the Eve of the Crusade. We're on our way into the Strife of the Eight, which is really exciting. This is in my main account, Kingdom 1075. I'm super hyped for that. We've got a really active kingdom. There are literally no bots here, and if anybody bots, I'll zero them myself. You just point them out. We'll zero them. No problem. Easy. This is an all-natural score, baby. So tune in later today for the live stream, throw a like on here, and consider subscribing so you don't miss a thing. We've been dropping some crazy news as soon as it lands, and yeah, you'll be the first to know.